Hi everyone, I'm John Fenzel, just returning from North Carolina, and my GPS has taken me on Route 301 instead of Route 95, and right on the other side of that median is Fort A.P. Hill. We're just south of Port Royal, Virginia, and this is also the site where we're standing right now, actually right across from us, where John Wilkes Booth was killed on April 26, 1865. So that was 154 years ago yesterday. And I thought I'd show you this. Everybody's aware, of course, that John Wilkes Booth assassinated Abraham Lincoln at Ford's Theater on Friday, April 14th, 1865. And you have here John Wilkes Booth and David Harold on Tuesday, April 25th. They sleep at the Garrett farm until late in the morning. The Garrett sons wake Booth up, and he eats a breakfast that's described as eating like a civilized man. He drinks some whiskey, and he plays some games with the Garrett kids. But the Garretts themselves are pretty suspicious. They question him. And finally, they're so suspicious, they say, look, you're going to be sleeping out in the tobacco barn tonight. And it's right across the road here. And, you know, during the winter, you can get in there, and the vegetation is pretty well cleared, but it's still really steep. And then, of course, in addition, you've got all this traffic, which is pretty dangerous. So all that combined makes it impassable. But what I thought I'd do is just show you just across the road the location, and of course, so on Wednesday, April 26th, day 13 of the manhunt, Booth and Harold don't get much sleep in that tobacco barn. It's around 2:30 in the morning when the 16th New York Cavalry surround the barn, and the Garretts just kind of stand aside and stay out of their way. David Harold immediately surrenders when the 16th Cav give the ultimatum to surrender, but Booth stays inside, and it's said that he actually was trying to escape. But then the 16th New York Cavalry set fire to the barn, and shortly thereafter, Sergeant Boston Corbett, against orders, shoots Booth in the neck, right through 3 vertebrae, and then less than 5 hours later, at 7:15 a.m., John Wilkes Booth is dead. A lot of times people will think that that happened right here in these woods, but in fact, it was just across the street, which is now a median. David Harold is later hung with all the other co-conspirators, Powell Atzerodt, Mary Surratt, on July 7th. At what today is Fort McNair, right there on what are the tennis courts in that location. But what I thought I'd do is just walk you over here just so you could see the sign that marks the location, at least the vicinity of the location of where this happened. Assassin's End, this is the site of Locust Hill, Richard Henry Garrett's farm, where on the early morning of 26 April 1865, a 16th New York Cavalry detachment corners John Wilkes Booth, the assassin of President Abraham Lincoln, and his co-conspirator, David E. Harold, as the two men slept in Garrett's tobacco barn. Harold gives himself up, but Booth refuses to surrender. The barn is set on fire, and Sergeant Boston Corbett shoots the assassin still inside. Booth is laid on the porch of the Garrett house, right across the street there, and he dies right around sunrise. The house and the barn stood a short distance from this spot. I'm John Fenzel, and I thought you'd like to know.